The RTS scene is hotting up again. After years of quiet, we've suddenly had a flurry of releases, Tempest Rising, Cataclismo, and more besides. And the momentum doesn't look like it's going to be slowing down. In fact, the next wave of RTS titles is already lining up, and some of them look genuinely brilliant. Welcome back to LT Gaming, my name is Tom, and today Luke and I are teaming up to bring you 8 upcoming indie RTS games that deserve a spot on your wish list. We'll cover what each game is about, why we're excited, and the latest updates direct from the devs. If you enjoy thoughtful gaming coverage, previews, deep dives, and the odd cheeky joke thrown in, then do consider subscribing to the channel. It helps us cut through the sea of YouTube channels and reach more strategy fans like you. So grab yourself a brew, set your build queue to infinite, and let's dive in. First up for me is Battles of Chaos, a new fantasy RTS that caught my eye straight away. And I've actually been speaking with the developer on Discord, and the first footage I saw immediately grabbed me. It gave me real Total War Warhammer vibes, but on a smaller scale. More focused on squads, positioning and tactics, rather than just throwing 1,000 units at each other and seeing what survives. At its core, Battles of Chaos is about commanding armies in gritty, open field clashes and sieges. You're going to lead humans, orcs and dwarves across sprawling battlefields, with different factions playing to their own strengths. It's all been built in Unreal 5 engine, and it gives it a very weighty look. Armor glints, castles crumbling, cavalry charges feeling like proper impact. And the devs' roadmap is clear: combat and sieges first, then base building and campaign layers as early access unfolds. It's very early days, but if the battles feel as weighty as they look, this could really be a sleeper RTS hit that comes out of nowhere. Definitely one to put on your wish list.
Empire Eternal is ambitious as heck. Imagine a real-time strategy epic that spans all of human history, from primitive tools right through to futuristic tech. You'll build empires across 20 eras, command armies on land, sea and sky, and juggle both macro and micro strategy across the ages. In terms of gameplay feel, the devs are promising something that marries classic RTS staples like base building, resource management and combat with modern expectations of flexibility and scale. The latest Bronze Age update added new units, chariots, swordsmen and warships, plus modular construction. Movement and formations have seen improvements, pathfinding has been refined, and naval transport is functional now. Armies can load and unload while keeping formation. What's got me excited right now is how the dev team is delivering. Despite being pre-released, they're steadily rolling in substantive features, not just fluff. That Bronze Age update in particular shows they're serious about depth. Also, there's the fact that Microprose is backing this, and the game is widely viewed as a spiritual successor of Empire Earth. If they keep this pace and polish, this could become a huge name in RTS comebacks.
Next up is Crown of Greed, a game that immediately gave me flashbacks to one of my all-time favourites in the genre, Majesty. And in this game, you're not building barracks and spamming units, you're ruling a kingdom where heroes have their own lives, quirks and ambitions. So you'll recruit champions from the guilds like the Barracks or the Syndicate, or the Hunter's Camp as well, and then send them out into the wild. They gain experience by fighting, healing, exploring, and if they survive, they'll come back stronger with better stats, and even new looks at key milestones. Level 10 and 20 heroes will actually change visually. I really like that your veterans will stand out in the battlefield chaos. And this loop of raising rookies into legends while knowing some won't come home at all gives the game this unpredictable living quality. And devs have recently shared a deep dive into the whole hero progression system. So it's got that Majesty DNA, letting go of the strict control, nudging your heroes toward glory and watching the chaos unfold. And it really makes Crown of Greed stand out for me, and it's one of the most exciting RTS RPG blends that we've seen in some time.
Fragile Existence puts you in the captain's seat when humanity is on life support. After the collapse wiped out Earth and the near-Earth territories, only a ragged fleet remains. You'll pilot this last hope across the stars, scouting systems, colonising worlds and juggling both orbital and ground operations in a fight for survival. In terms of feel, it fuses elements of RTS 4X survival and tactical management. You'll often zoom out across solar systems, move fleets in orbital spheres, then zoom right back in for base building, resource gathering and ground combat. There's a real genuine sense of scale here where fleet survival, logistics, crew morale and modular ship design all play a part. What's exciting right now is the progress the devs are making in public. They've introduced regions, which are flat zones in space for infrastructure and gates, refined warp sequences, and improved unit selection and cargo transfer systems. The dev blog also confirms they're not targeting an early access release this year. This is being built carefully, not rushed.
Moving to the far future next, I'm looking at Defcon Zero, and this one is all about OMC, or the Operational Mobile Command. And it's not just a flashy HQ, it's the nerve center of your entire operation. If you lose it, your battlefield control will collapse. And it instantly changes how you think about expanding and defending, because you're not just painting the map your colour, you're protecting your lifeline. And the game leans into this modular base building vibe, power management, tech trees, all with a proper sci-fi aesthetic. And it's not just about who can pump out tanks the fastest, you'll have to juggle logistics and command range while keeping your OMC alive. What excites me with this game is having the single point of failure. It adds some real tension. It means you can't turtle forever, but you also can't rush in blindly. Decisions will feel very weighty when your entire command network can be ripped out from under you. And the devs have been showing off some building animations and different OMC systems lately, base layouts and the like, and I'm really intrigued by the way it looks. It's still early, but there's a clear vision, and they can nail the balance between expansion, defense, and this OMC mechanic. Defcon Zero could be one of the most interesting RTS experiments on the horizon.
Sanctuary Shattered Sun is turning heads by promising an RTS set on a Dyson sphere. Yep, that massive, star-encapsulating megastructure. You'll lead armies over its curved surface, smash through the map with super weapons, freeze oceans to forge new invasion paths, and control huge battles with hundreds to thousands of units. Gameplay-wise, it leans into scale and spectacle rather than frantic APM. There's a strategic zoom feature letting you slide between micro and macro view with ease, and everything from projectiles to unit movement is simulated in real time for that immersive feel. The Flux economy system is also a hook. They say it avoids artificial caps and instead forces you to balance your strategic income and spending in a more fluid way. What's got me pumped today is that they've announced a free demo in 2025 and are pushing towards opening things up more broadly. Also earlier this year, they revealed their closed pre-alpha has been undergoing patches and the community is seeing more dev transparency. If that demo goes well, this could be the moment Sanctuary really steps into the RTS spotlight.
Next up is DORF, Real-Time Strategic Conflict. That is one of the boldest indie RTS projects I've seen in years. This one has been built by two veteran Command & Conquer modders, and it leans hard into that classic isometric feel. Chunky units, snappy controls, sprawling bases. And the twist with this one is logistics will actually matter. You juggle oil, ore and scrap, refining them and keeping your supply lines flowing. If you mismanage it, your glorious Def Zerg will become a very expensive parking lot. And what makes this one sing is the delicious chaos it has. We're talking giant multi-turret tanks, zeppelins, psychic shock troops, and the killer mechanic is you can capture enemy factories and steal their tech. Storm a base, nick the blueprints, and suddenly your dystopian scrapyard churns out mismatched monstrosities. I recently made a much longer video on DORF, so check that out if this tickles your fancy. But if you're craving a 90s RTS energy drink with 2025 punch, I think DORF deserves a wish list.
The Last General is a modern warfare RTS that's aiming big. You'll be commanding armies across huge battlefields up to 400 kilometers squared, with thousands of units, infantry, tanks, artillery, helicopters, and even modern transport. It's built around not just tactically winning fights, but strategically managing cities, infrastructure, resources, and political influence across a war-torn landscape. The gameplay vibe is ambitious and hybrid. It wants you thinking in multiple layers, macro overviews such as which towns to take, infrastructure to build or deny, and which fronts to push. And then micro in battle decisions like unit positioning, fire support, and supply lines. There's also direct control if you want to jump in at any time on the battlefield and steer things in real time. What's got me hyped right now is how the dev is iterating these ideas in public. The latest progress update added new vehicles and jets, a unit hierarchy, new order types, rivers and bridges, plus UI and AI improvements. It's also worth noting the dev spent a full month dedicated to performance optimization, and reports are it's now running about 3 times faster than before. The release date is slated for 2026, but with momentum like this, The Last General could be one of those super hits we'll want to keep an eye on.